Good morning. Welcome to South for Your Mouth.
We're so glad to see you today, friends. This is my beautiful niece, Janice. She's coming back to cook some wonderful things today, and we're just so happy she's here.
We're going to make two cakes,
Uh-huh.
a chocolate peanut butter cake and a caramel cake.
Yum. I've never made a caramel cake.
It's really good, but we're going to make just 2 layers, and then we're going to icing it with chocolate and one with caramel.
All right.
We'll be right back. Well, welcome to South for Your Mouth. We're going to make 2 cakes here, and we are using Duncan Hines butter golden cake mixes, and they're really good because it says to use water, but we don't use water. We use milk, which will make it a much more moist cake.
And yes, this is a shortcut.
And yes, this is a shortcut, but when you're in a hurry, sometimes you don't have time to go from scratch. But when I used to make this for my daddy, he would not eat anything but scratch cakes. And when I would make this cake, he swore it. He always thought it was a scratch cake. And I never told him to. Okay, so we're gonna put this butter in here. So we're using 1 stick for each one of the boxes. We're gonna mix both of them up at the same time.
And why are we doing this? Because we're making
Because we're gonna icing them with 2 different kinds of icing.
2 cakes at one time, right?
Right, 2 cakes. We're going to make a chocolate peanut butter cake, and we're going to make a salted caramel cake. Okay, and the chocolate cake will be made, icing will be made from scratch, but we're gonna cheat a little bit on our salted caramel. We'll explain that later. Okay, let's put our cake mix in here. And you're just gonna put everything in here.
Now, normally it won't hold 2 cake mixes, but the boxes are so much smaller now.
I know. Now we have, each recipe calls for 3 eggs. So we've got 6 eggs here that we are going to put in. I like to crack my eggs before I put them in here, because if you ever have a bad egg, and you'll ruin your whole cake. After we get all the eggs in there, we're going to go ahead and put our milk in there, and each one calls for 3/4 cup of water, but we're using milk. I don't know why they don't put that on the boxes, because it's much better with milk. Okay, that's all of our eggs. Now we're going to put, that's 3/4 of a cup. And let me pour 3/4 more cup in here. Okay. All right. Now, sorry, making noise. This is not my normal mixer, but started out too fast. Let it mix up for a minute, and then we can let it go a little faster once you get all the flour mixed up. Okay, now we're going to turn it off and scrape the sides so we make sure it gets all mixed up.
And I believe you just told me if you needed more milk, you could add it.
Yeah, you can, but you want it, see, it's a good creamy.
It's just right, isn't it?
But it's going to be really good. Okay, I like to mix it probably at least 3 or 4 minutes, because you want to make sure it's all mixed up good and those eggs are blended in there. Because if you don't get it mixed up good, there'll be air pockets in your cake. And I think we're good. Get all the good stuff off of the. Okay. Do is we will put half in one pan. These are 9 by 13s and they've already been floured, greased and floured. So put some in each one of them. Spread it out. And we have the oven set on what?
350.
350. And it's probably going to be, I think it's like 25 or 30 minutes.
But check your oven before that.
Yeah. And you test it. I usually test mine with putting a fork in to see if it sticks to the fork. When it doesn't stick to the fork, you're good. You don't want to overcook it, because it will dry it out. Okay. All right, put these in the oven. We'll check back with you in about 25 minutes. Okay, now we're going to make the chocolate peanut butter icing. So we're going to take a stick of butter and put it in our boiler. We got it on low. And we let the butter melt. So it'll take just a minute for this butter to melt. And then we're going to add our cocoa.
What you got on the side there cooking?
Got some pear preserves.
Oh. See our pear preserves? Oh, they look good.
Mm-hmm. Melted a little bit. We're going to use 3 tablespoons of cocoa, and I'm just going to use the same spoon. Oops, I'm making this. And I just use 3 level tablespoons. Of cocoa.
When you mix that butter with the cocoa, it dissolves it real well, doesn't it?
Yeah, you need to dissolve the cocoa for it to. And I'm going to switch because I like to use.
That's cocoa powder, and putting it with that oil makes a big difference. That butter.
Yeah, you need to get the cocoa dissolved because you don't want lumps in there. And I'm just keeping it on low just to get it to dissolve. You can see.
Just look down in there.
Can you see how it's dissolving?
Yes.
Really creamy. Okay. And then we're going to add in our flour. powdered sugar. Sorry, not flour.
How much powdered sugar?
We put 4 cups, and I just measured it into this bowl. And I'm gonna put all that in there. And it's hard to know how much milk we're gonna have to use in here. So I'll start out with a 1/2 cup of milk. And we'll see how it dissolves, and then we'll have to add more. But you don't want to add too much because you don't want it too soupy. And you can see it's already starting to mix in there with a 1/2 cup. We're probably gonna have to go at least another 1/2 cup. This is starting to get thick. And keep it on low so the powdered sugar will dissolve too. So let's add another 1/2 cup. Another 1/2 cup. So that makes 1 cup of milk. Just let it heat till it gets a little shiny looking, is what I call it. You just want it to heat. And I don't know, but when they have it a little too thin.
Tilt your pan this way a little bit. Okay.
Now it's a little thin. I think we've got a little bit too much milk, so you can always add some more powdered sugar. So we're gonna put another cup in there of powdered sugar. So that makes it 5 cups. Hopefully that will do it. So let me get this mixed in there. You can see how I'm mixing it.
It's looking better, huh?
Does that look good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna let this just cook for a few minutes till we get all that powdered sugar so it won't be lumpy. It's almost like hot fudge when you put it over there.
Yum.
Peanut butter we're gonna put in there will help make it a little thicker too. Alright, we're gonna let this cook for a minute and we'll be right back. We've got it good and warm, and now we're gonna put in our peanut butter. And I just put in a couple of heaping tablespoons of peanut butter. That is good. And we stir it around in there till it gets dissolved up. And we still need to add our vanilla.
So how much milk you think?
I think we should have stuck with a 1/2 of a cup of milk. By putting that other in there, it made it, we had to add extra powdered sugar. So I believe if you use 4 cups of the powdered sugar, a 1/2 cup of milk, you'll be good.
Okay.
Okay, now we've got our vanilla. We're gonna put a teaspoon of that in there. Okay. Get this dissolved up. And can you see peanut butter's in there, and it makes it a little thicker with the peanut
So all we need is a spoon now, right?
It almost tastes like fudge. And sometimes have done it without the peanut butter, but my family likes it better with the peanut butter.
You know, Christmas is coming up. We'll have to make some chocolate peanut butter fudge.
I think I'm gonna make probably one of these for our Thanksgiving because I usually have pies, pumpkin or sweet potato, but they'd rather have cake. Okay, so now we're gonna pour this over our cake. Just let it, we've already cut it into squares.
How many squares did you get?
24.
24, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it is. We did it in smaller squares because we're going to take some to a friend of Mimi's that is, I
have such a good friend named Terry and her husband named Stan, and Terry said that salted caramel is her favorite, so that's why we're going to take them a little sample plate to see if they like it.
Now, since we cut it into squares, all that is going to go down through. I'm going to get all this out.
That's why you want it warm, right?
Yeah, it's just soaked down between. By cutting it first before you pour this on there, it gets down between each square, and you get a lot of chocolate.
Yum.
So, and there's our cake. Now we'll be right back when we have to let the salted caramel cake that we're going to ice get cooled off before we ice it in. We're going to make the icing for our salted caramel cake. The cake turned out really well. So what we're going to use is we're going to use 1 can of salted caramel. It's hard to find sometimes, but
where did you find it?
Pillsbury, and I found this at Walmart Marketplace on Old Buncombe Road. And I found out that if you take your icing and beat it, it puts air into the icing and makes it more fluffy. So we're going to take it out of the can, put it in a bowl. Get it all out. Okay. And what I do is I add 4 ounces of cream cheese. Let it get room temperature. And also I put a teaspoon of vanilla.
That vanilla really helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it does, but it makes it taste better. Okay.
There's a lot of shortcuts you can take in the kitchen that are really good.
Yeah, and this, it takes away from the just being canned icing. So I'm
Cream
using
cheese is really good in anything, isn't it?
It is. I have a little hand mixer here.
Tell me about that hand mixer.
I have had this hand mixer for 51 years. It was a wedding present from my mother when I got married in 1971. And I have used, it's a GE, and I don't know if they make them like that, but that lasts that long, but this one has. We're going to whip this up really good. You can see that I'm whipping it. It makes the icing expand. Can you see down in there? Get it mixed up really good. Let's break some of this down on the side here. It can all get mixed up good. can, and if you can notice, the icing is, let me see if I can fix this, hold you so you can see it. See the difference in the color of the icing from straight out of the can? It's a lot lighter color, so that makes it a little creamier. And
That cream cheese would be good with
the
it.
cream cheese, I guess, makes it have an extra little kick. It's better with the cream cheese. Okay. Let's get these out. Let's get this out. There we go. Okay, now we've got our icing mixed up. And we're gonna spoon it on our cake. And it makes a lot more icing this way too. Mixing it,
Incorporating the air.
the air, yeah, it'll make it spread a whole lot better. Let's see how we can do this. Yeah, straight out of the can, it's really thick.
Plus, you don't have a lot.
No, and one can would not coat this cake. But by incorporating the cream cheese and that little bit extra vanilla. Let's see if we get some around here.
Wow, that was a lot extra.
Yeah, it makes a lot of icing. If you were going to do layers, it would be good because one can would definitely not do a 2 or 3 layer cake.
That would be nice to put that in the between the cake and layers, and then put a different icing on the outside.
Oh gosh, yeah, that would be great. Now I did not cut this cake because we don't need the icing going down in between the layers like we did the chocolate. There we go.
Yum.
There we go.
Salted caramel.
Here's both cakes.
This is salted caramel cream cheese cake, and this is chocolate peanut butter cake.
Yes.
Thank you. It looks so-
Enjoy. Okay, we got 2 taste testers here today.
2 good-looking dudes.
Yes, I'm thinking looking. Dre and Owen. Owen is going to try our salted caramel, and Dre's going to try the chocolate peanut butter.
Mmm. That is good. That is very good.
Ooh.
Bring it together, actually.
Well, maybe we can start putting them together.
You can do a layer cake, put the chocolate on top.
So, should people try that or not?
Yeah, I give it 2 thumbs up.
All right. Thank you, guys.